Okay, in this video, I'm gonna explain on the multiple angles formula. Okay, so there are 5 formula. Multiple angles is when your angle given is not a single angle like cosine theta, cosine A, cosine B like before. Like this one you see, there is 2A, so multiple angle. It can be more, but you have to do some adjustment. But for now, we see the multiple angle of a double angle first. Okay, double angle of 2A. So let's say for the first one, cosine 2A, the formula given is, you can have 3 formulas of a cosine 2A. So you can choose either one that you want to choose or you want to use. Alright, so the first one would be cosine squared A minus by sine squared A. The second one is cosine 2A can be equivalent to 2 cosine squared A minus by 1. And the last one will be cosine 2A equivalent to 1 minus by 2 sine squared A. Okay, now for sine there is only 1. So sine 2A equivalent to 2 sine A cosine A. And for tangent also only 1, which is will be tangent 2A equivalent to 2 tangent A over by 1 over minus by tangent squared A. Alright, so these are the double angle. Okay, now let's look at the example how you can apply the formula. The first one would be page 61, example 16. So the question asks, if tangent theta equivalent to half, where your theta is acute angle. Okay, find the exact value of the following expression for sine 2 theta. Again, this kind of question, when you are given something with a SOHCAHTOA like this, and you know already the angle falls on which quadrant, you have to draw your triangle. Okay, so let's draw our triangle. So since they say that your theta is an acute angles mean your theta falls between 0 to 90 degrees, which mean a quadrant 1. So draw your triangle at quadrant 1. So over here you have your triangle. So the angle is theta. Okay, you are given tangent theta equivalent to half. For your SOHCAHTOA, TOA means 1 over by 2 will give you TOA, opposite over adjacent, which is your opposite is 1, adjacent is 2. Now you want to know your hypotenuse. So how can you know your hypotenuse? Use your theorem Pythagoras, which says that opposite square plus by a square equivalent to hypotenuse square. So over here, your hypotenuse would be equivalent to 1 square plus by 2 square, square root everything, which gonna give you square root of 5. So this one equivalent to square root of 5. Okay, now you know your missing side. You can answer the rest of the question. So the first question, they ask for sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta, find the formula from your formula list which give you 2 sine theta cosine theta. Okay, then simply substitute. 2 is just a coefficient 2. Sine theta, so sine theta for the first quadrant, this one will give you a positive number. So sine is SOH, which is opposite over by hypotenuse. Okay, so this one opposite 1, hypotenuse is square root 5. Cosine is kah. Kah adjacent over by hypotenuse. So adjacent is 2, hypotenuse is square root 5. Okay, and then simplify your answer. So if 2 multiplied by 2, you got 4. Square root 5 multiplied by square root 5, you got 5. So the final answer would just 4 over by 5. That is going to be your final answer. Now let's move on. The second question, they ask for tangent 2 theta. Now again, just rewrite your formula from the formula list, which is you're going to have 2 tangent theta over by 1 minus by tangent squared theta. Now, tangent you are given from the question, which is this, tangent theta equivalent to half. Simply substitute. You don't have to look at the triangle. So over here, you just substitute. So 2, this one multiply by half over by 1 minus by tangent square would be half square. And then calculate. Alright, use your calculator. You will have 4 over by 3. Your final answer. Easy? Easy. Alright. Now, the last one for part C. Okay, for part C, they ask you secant 2 theta. Now, even though the secant 2 theta is not in the formula list, but you know there is a reciprocal for secant. What is it? It would be equivalent to 1 over by cosine. Remember that secant theta equivalent to 1 over by cosine theta. But since this one is 2 theta, so this change to 2 theta. Over here also needs to change to 2 theta. Or else, this one I can just put it A, secant A over by cosine A. Sama je. Right? So basically this one 1 over by cosine. If this is 2 theta, this one will give you 2 theta. Do you have the formula of cosine 2 theta in the formula list? You do have. What you do is just rewrite the formula. 1 over by. Now, you have 3 choices. 3 choice. Cosine, cosine, cosine. It's up to you which one you choose. You will get the same answer. Okay, for example, this one. I'm going to choose this, the last one. 1 minus by 2 sine square theta. Right, so substitute. So you over here you have 1 minus by 2 sine square theta. And then you just substitute the value, which is equivalent to 1 over by 1 minus by 2. Sine over here is opposite over by hypotenuse. So your opposite is 1, hypotenuse is square root 5. And then make sure you have square. And then simplify your answer. You will get the final answer 5 over by 3. And then you are done. Alright?